And so it was with Homabay, that the Sifuna Orengo Babu Brigade had been stopped from entering Homabay, but they did enter Homabay. That lap of honor, that entry into Homabay town signaled many things. At this point, I must stop and ask our leaders, our politicians, please learn to seek advice. We are here almost idle with the capacity to advise you politicians, informed by history and science and facts, evidence-based arguments, that the moment you stopped the Sifuna team from entering Homabay, all they needed was to enter Homabay. And that means coming after Kisumu, the broad-based ODM failed to stop Orengo, Babu Owino, and Sifuna from entering Kisumu. They entered Kisumu and had a successful rally. You repeated the same mistake, now even ready to be violent. Caught on video, serious evidence, mobilizing people to stop Sifuna and his team. Asking the goons to flush out people from hotels is on record. If you had talked to Manyora, I would have told you, let Sifuna, let Babu, let Orengo and their team enter Homabay. Waongee matope yao na watoke. Surely. We've all been around with Raila Odinga. The sort of crowds Raila pulled, he never became president. There's no guarantee whatsoever that the people who turn out to listen to Sifuna will vote for Sifuna. There is no guarantee. On the contrary, we have seen many popular politicians. We've seen Raila Odinga. We've seen people standing for member of parliament. Vijana or pikipiki with those reflector jackets. Bru, 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 bru. Come voting day, the opponent wins handsomely. We haven't learned this. The moment you stopped Sifuna and his team, that's the moment you made the worst blunder. Berlin has fallen. Kampala has fallen. Tripoli has fallen. And in many other cities, you have allowed your bastion to fall. Gladys Wanga, Tita Kaluma, Junaid Mohammed, Pio and I, my friend John Badi, Power Man Oburu Odinga, you've lost it. You basically lost your stronghold. And talking of losing, let us look at the losers. And they're going to be pained losers. The loss is going to be painful. First, let us accept. You have propelled Babu Owino into the undisputed LUO leader. Just, if you didn't watch, we live in a world where you'll watch. Go to YouTube. Go to YouTube. Go to YouTube. Play the clips. Witness Babu Owino behaving like a true general, commanding his forces. Just look at Babu Owino commanding the forces to enter Homabay town. And then be honest to yourself. Tell me whether you have not handed Babu Owino the leadership of the LUO nation on a silver platter. And he's earned it. We've been talking of General Miguna. Now we can only talk about General Babu Owino. Look at the dusty roads. People are talking about you exposing the lack of development or the so-called development by blocking the highways and making Sifuna and Babu Owino and his team use the dusty roads, exposing the lack of development. But I'm looking at this as a Delta Force. It looked like a movie. Look at those vehicles racing dust. It was like a movie. You created a movie. And those of us who grew up watching the roadside movies, people of my age and slightly younger will remember factual films, mobile film, walk-in. See your walk-in here upper town. Who used to come to the villagers' house in Tarbo. I still remember on every 4th of the month, there was factual film. On every 7th, there was mobile film. The Wild West. That's what we were treated to. There was always a hero in those films. Clint Eastwood. Such a tough heroes. You've created Babu Owino into a hero. Blunder. It was a movie people were watching. And now let's continue with the losers. On top of losing the entire region to Orengo and Babu Owino, and ultimately to Leader Mwananchi and Sifuna, you have made yourself vulnerable at an individual level. Let's start with the Homabay County. I watched, I followed. In order to do clips like this, to prepare material like these videos, I follow. I do recordings, I follow recordings. I see the people cheering. I see how come they finally entered Homabay. Because the moment they got to the people, it now became easy for them to finish the trip into the town. If the people hadn't been there, the resistance from the young boys would have made it very difficult for Babu to finally get into town. But it was made easy and possible because they now got into the people. And all along, forget about Sindo and Nyandiwa where there were huge crowds. Even on the road, you could see the reception the boys, the young people are getting, Sifuna and Babu Owino. You could see it, and Orengo. So, what I have seen therefore, following the proceedings and all those kind of things on YouTube, is that Gladys Wanga, a very good governor and a very good person, you have exposed yourself. Gladys Wanga having exposed herself, what remains is one. And it's as simple as that. It's for the Linda Mwananchi people to identify a candidate. And Gladys Wanga is home. That's what's remaining. And look at it, how you've exposed yourself. By trying to stop Babu and Sifuna and failing to do so, you have announced to Kenya Kwanza, to UDA and to President William Ruto, you are not reliable and you are not strong either. So what is going to happen is simple. The Kenya Kwanza Brigade, the UDA people, directly or indirectly, are already scouting for somebody. Magwanga, I don't know who, but they are already scouting for somebody. Because Gladys Wanga has exposed her underbelly, and they don't like what they have seen. And therefore they are going to sponsor a person directly with UDA or indirectly with another party. That you can take to the bank. But the more lethal blow and strike is going to come from Linda Mwananchi. When Orengo and Karoli Omondi and Babu decide on a candidate to go against Wanga, you are finished. That candidate may as well be Karoli Omondi. I don't know. I don't talk to them. I haven't talked to them. It could be Karoli Omondi. It could be anybody else. The person they settle on, because the UDA will already have weakened Gladys Wanga, the Linda Mwananchi candidate will have a field day. And that's going to happen. Peter Kaluma, you are counting your last days in politics. Because the way Peter Kaluma has come out, he hasn't come out looking good. No, that is, we are observers. And we say the truth. We could be wrong. And I know Peter Kaluma is praying that Manyora be wrong. I could be wrong. But I doubt that I'm wrong. And I believe strongly that the people have not liked what they have seen. Mothers are talking about it. I don't know whether they are injuries. I'm doing this video immediately after that, what happened in Homabay yesterday. So I don't know whether there are injuries or fatalities. So far, I don't know. But mothers are watching. The mothers who carry votes in Homabay are watching. Homabay town, for example. They cannot be happy that brother was set up against brother. That politicians would send their children to fight their children. No mother can be happy with that. Hakuna mzee atafurahia kwamba kuna mwanasiasa ametuma watoto waende wapige watoto wenzao. Hakuna. Na hao wazee, hao mama ndio wanabeba kura. Peter Kaluma. Hawa mama wa Homabay, hawa wazee wa Homabay town ambao wameona wanasiasa wametumwa watoto wao waende wapige watoto wao. Because there are no strangers there. Wamnyoro did not take Kikuyus there to be beaten. No. Sifuna did not go there with the Luyas, apart from Jack Wamboka and a few other politicians. No. These are brothers being set against brothers. And it pains me, honestly, that we will take our politics to this level. Look, I'm advising politicians. And that's what has... Hiyo ndio mimi yangu imebaki tu. There's nothing else I'm living for. Just to advise politicians. Let's make this country a good place for our children and our grandchildren. It's my advice to you people. I have nothing to gain. I don't want anything. I'm just advising you. And I'm telling you, if you had sat down with me, Gladys Wanga, Peter Kaluma, I would have told you, watch hawa watu waingie Homabay. Wacheze hiyo muziki yao. Waimbe ngoma. DJ Spider. Akarange hizo, wanasemanga diski ama nini, acheze hizo vitu zake. Vijana wacheze na t-shirt zao. Lakini mpiga kura, kama ameona Ruto ndio alijenga hiyo stadium wanachezea, kwa mfano, hiyo barabara wamepitia, huyo mpiga kura kwa akili yake mwenyewe atajua hii kura ni ya Ruto. Hata fuata hizo ngoma watu wanacheza kwa stadium ya Homabay. Hapana, that's not how politics works. I did an interview with Senator Cheriot, and he said something I have not forgotten. That when people have made a lot of noise on the market, there are people quietly somewhere making quiet, serious assessment and seeing kura ya senator nitapatia fulani. Wanaangalia, wanatathmini. They have listened to the noise, to the dance and everything else. They say, katikati ya hii watu, MP ni fulani. I listen to Cheriot saying that. They'll go to the stadium, yes. But when they leave the stadium, in their quiet moments alone in the churches, gathering after church, in funerals, on the market centers, young people discussing and old people, ile chai na kuanga moto kwa village markets, ile hoteli tunaita hoteli iko na birika na chai moto sana na toast. Saa ile wanakula wanaulizana, huyu Sifuna. Mtu anasema hapana. Let's not risk. Huyu Ruto ametusaidia. Wacha malize miaka yake 5. That is what you should allow to happen. That is how you help William Samoei Ruto. But the moment you create resistance and the people break that resistance and they enter town, symbolically entering town means they have subdued you. That the agenda is now selling. You've not helped Ruto. And let me tell you how human nature works. Next time, Linda Wananchi set out to visit LUO Nyanza, Homabay, Migori, Siaya, Kisumu, it will be wonderful. You will see things you've never seen before because you've created it. But if you had allowed them to go to Homabay, they could go to Siaya as a normal rally. They do their thing. They talk on top of vehicles. They raise dust. They go to stadium, dance music. But people retreat and ask themselves questions. Hii SGR ambaye saa hii inakuja, ni nani ameleta? Sema Ruto. Huwa tunalala kwa barabara Christmas, na sasa hii barabara Ruto anatujengea. Wana tick boxes. Wataenda wasikize hizo ngoma nzuri sana na wacheze, lakini siku ya kupiga kura, sisemi hawatapigia Sifuna ama hawatapigia Kalonzo, lakini nasema watafanya uamuzi wa busara. But you are now forcing them. People, I can get annoyed. People, and it is human nature, people always tend to side with the underdog. Peter Kaluma, please, you're a lawyer. You've gone to school. You know what I'm talking about. Gladys Wanga, you are a politician, seasoned. People tend to side with the underdog in politics. It happened to Ruto. Watu waliona Ruto ameonewa na Uhuru na Raila, ndio wakampigia kura. But finally, you know why you must brace yourself to be Babu Owino's subjects? Because he's the undisputed king of LUO Nyanza, as he has his own ambitions later on in life. You turned him into a commando, a really general. The way he commanded those troops. Tell you what, my good friends, a good number of you are my friends. I think almost all of you are my friends. You know what you did? Mmeguza Wajaluo mahali. Please, tuelewane. Mumeguza Mjaluo mahali. The average Luo person likes a tough person. When they look at a leader, they want to see a man in that leader. And that's why they followed Raila Odinga. That's why they followed Jaramogi. He was a brave man, a really warrior, a fighter. Raila did things not many of us can even imagine he can do. And that endeared him to the Luo man. The Luo spirit is a fighting spirit. And you just appeal to that spirit by making Babu Owino come out as a darling with the people, a person to be admired. It's good for Babu Owino, bad for you. I would advise some of you to begin looking for alternative careers. Politics seems to have come to an end.